morning dear students, and welcome to this session. Today in this session we are going to begin with Act 2 Scene 2 of the play The Merchant of Venice, and to be more precise we will be doing from line number 1 to 33. But before we begin with the text of this particular scene, let us have a brief introduction about this scene, that what the scene basically is about. Now, Act 2 Scene 2, the action of the play again shifts to Venice. So this scene is staged on a street in Venice, and Lancelot, who is yet another character in the play, is introduced to the readers. Now, this particular scene, to understand the scene in a better way, we can divide the scene into three sections. The first section is dominated by the antics of Lancelot Gobbo, who is a Christian and the servant of Shylock. So he was serving Shylock, but since he was in the service of a Jew, he was quite unhappy with his master. He was not satisfied with his master, so therefore he wanted to leave Shylock's service so that he could join his new master, that is Bassanio. So the reason for Lancelot's dislike for Shylock is also again based on racial prejudice. That is the primary reason. However, there are other reasons also forwarded by Lancelot for his dislike towards Shylock. Now, since Lancelot is a new character, let us try to understand about this character. Lancelot can be perceived as the traditional Elizabethan clown, whose primary role is to amuse the audience by his ready wit and sometimes pure nonsense. So you see, in every play, and more particularly in tragedies, the dramatist always introduces a comic character, and the role of this comic character is to relieve the tension that is created in the minds of the readers by making use of his antics, wordplay, or his wit. So Lancelot's purpose in the play is also that of a comic role. He is an Elizabethan clown, and his chief role in the play is to amuse the audience by his wit and also at times by his nonsense. In the beginning of this particular scene, we find that Lancelot, in a long soliloquy, is caught in the web of dilemmas. Dilemmas means, dilemma is a situation when we are unable to decide upon the right course of action. When there is some sort of a confusion in our mind that what is ought to be done, that is dilemma, when we are unable to decide between among the different options that is available to us. So he is caught in a complex web of dilemmas and logic, and he is unable to decide whether he should leave the service of Shylock or not. And this dilemma of this dilemma of Lancelot, we come to know through his soliloquy that he makes in the very beginning of this scene. Now, we need to understand soliloquy also. Now, soliloquy is a technical device, is a technical term, where a character speaks to himself. At times, we speak to ourselves. Instead of speaking to someone, we speak to ourselves, but that is done mutely, silently. That conflict takes place within us. But in a drama, for the readers or for the audience to comprehend what is going on within the mind of the character, it is very important to know the inner conflict of the character. And this inner conflict of the character is presented to the audience through soliloquy. Now in an soliloquy, a character is all alone on the stage and he speaks to himself, but he speaks aloud so that the audience come to know what is going on within him. So Lancelot also was undergoing through a conflict. His dilemma was whether he should continue to serve his old master Shylock, who is a Jew, or he should run away from the service of Shylock. That was the dilemma that he was facing. And Lancelot can be said to be the representative of the servants, fools, and morally weak people of the lower sections of the society, who often consider themselves much higher than their actual social position. This also you will come to know that Lancelot, though he is a servant, but he considers himself to be of a much higher level. He speaks in language that befits his masters. He tries to imitate his social betters in his language, or also in his behavior, in his conduct. And at the same time, while he converses with his father, old Gobbo, whom he meets in this particular scene itself, he addresses himself to as Master Lancelot. Why? Because he considers himself to be of much higher social status. Okay. And then Lancelot is delighted to encounter his father and decides some mischief, some prank in order to tease his father. He misleads his father by giving him confusing directions to the Jew's house, and he serves as a comic character who is perfect for this particular situation. Now when old Gobbo, there are tears in the eyes of old Gobbo, Lancelot could not see tears in the eyes of his father, and then he feels the need to reveal his real identity. But when he reveals his real identity, still old Gobbo dismisses him, does not believe in him in the initial stages, because he has grown much beard on his chin. So all these things, they form the first section of this scene. So in the first section of this scene, we see Lancelot Gobbo, his soliloquy, his meeting with his father, teasing his father, confusing his father by giving him a confused direction to the Jew's house, and then revealing his real identity to his father. That constitutes the first section of the scene. The second section of the scene, Lancelot meets with Bassanio and enters into his service. So Lancelot finally decides to leave the service of Shylock and enters into the service of Bassanio. That is the second section. And the third section of this scene is where Gratiano makes a request to Bassanio that he should also be allowed to accompany Bassanio to Belmont. So see, he expresses his desire to accompany Bassanio to Belmont, but as we know that Gratiano is a very talkative person and he speaks an infinite deal of nothing. So therefore Bassanio is a little reluctant to let Gratiano accompany him to Belmont. However, we would come to know whether Gratiano accompanies him or not when we read this particular scene. So this is in brief, if you remember the scene in these three sections, it will be easy for you to remember the plot of this particular scene. Now let us discuss the scene. So Act 2, Scene 2 takes place in a street in Venice, and enter Lancelot. So Lancelot is a comic character, he enters. And you see Lancelot in a long soliloquy, he expresses the strife that was going on within him, the conflict that was going on within him. So you see there is some comedy with the antics of Lancelot Gobbo here. And as the scene opens, we meet Lancelot, who is a standard Elizabethan country clown, and he is debating with himself whether or not he should continue to be in the Jews' service. So, as there is a belief that good and evil is within us, so there is a fiend. Fiend here means devil. So the devil within Lancelot urges him to leave the service of Shylock, but the conscience of Lancelot asks him to stay on and be loyal to his master. However, finally Lancelot gives in to the commandment of the devil and decides to leave the service of Shylock. Lancelot here says, "Certainly my conscience will serve me to run from this Jew my master. The fiend is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me, Gobbo, Lancelot Gobbo, good Lancelot, or good Gobbo, or good Lancelot Gobbo, use your legs, take the start, run away." Now, since our conscience always thinks in favor of us, so therefore Lancelot feels that it is certain that his conscience will serve him, will allow him, will assist him to run away from the service of his master Shylock. And it is important to see the term that is used by Lancelot to address his master. He does not simply use master, or he does not name Shylock. Instead, he refers to his master by using the term Jew. Now, Jew was a common term of loathing in the mouth of a Christian. And during Elizabethan times, the term Jew was used as a synonym for miserliness, for wickedness, for cruel-heartedness, and for being hard-hearted. So, Lancelot was unhappy with the service of Shylock, because he was a very cruel master, a hard-hearted master, and that is the reason why he feels that his conscience will support him to run away from the service of his master, that is Shylock. The fiend here means the devil that is within Lancelot. The devil stands at the elbow of Lancelot and is pulling Lancelot from the elbow. So Lancelot, you see, there is visual effect also in this scene. Though Lancelot is all alone on the stage, he tries to amuse the audience not only by his antics, by his words, but also by his movements, by his antics. So when the devil is pulling Lancelot, he jumps from one side to another and pretends as if the devil is pulling him and trying to ask Lancelot to do what the devil is suggesting. And then suddenly the conscience pulls Lancelot to the other part. He jumps from that side to another side and listens to his conscience. And this confusion reflects the dilemma that was within Lancelot. He says the fiend is standing at his elbow and is tempting him. Tempting him. Now when we tempt somebody, we use all pleasing terms. And you see the devil is using all pleasing terms so that Lancelot follows the advice of the devil, the counsel of the devil, the temptation of the devil. The devil is telling Lancelot, Gobbo, Lancelot Gobo, good Lancelot, or good Gobo, or good Lancelot Gobo. Use your legs. Okay, so the devil is tempting Lancelot by making use of all pleasing words, by trying to flatter Lancelot by addressing him as good Lancelot Gobo, and then asking Lancelot to make use of his legs, to take the start, to make a good start and run away from the service of Shylock. However, his conscience, my conscience says, no, take heed. Take heed means take care, be careful. Honest Lancelot. So the conscience is appealing to the honesty, to the integrity of Lancelot, to the loyalty of Lancelot. So therefore, the conscience is reminding Lancelot that he should be a prototype of the feudal servant, where service is considered to be a duty and every servant has a moral obligation towards his master. So being a servant, it is duty of Lancelot to be obedient to his master, to be loyal to his master. So therefore, the conscience is advising Lancelot to be honest, to take care and not to run away from the service of Shylock. Instead, he must remain loyal to his master. The conscience advises Lancelot to scorn running with thy heels. To scorn running means to consider running away from the master to be contemptuous, to be very wretched act. Well, the most courageous fiend bids me pack. Okay, the fiend which appears to be very courageous, it is asking Lancelot to pack his luggages, to pack off and be gone from the service of Shylock at once. Via, says the fiend. Via here literally means the road. So the conscience is advising Lancelot to pack off, to be gone and to take to the road. Okay, that means to go away from the service of Shylock. For the heavens rose up a brave mind, says the fiend, and run. It is trying to awaken in Lancelot a brave mind and is constantly tempting Lancelot to run away from the service of Shylock. Whereas the conscience is asking Lancelot not to leave the service of Shylock. It is worth noticing the words of the conscience. He says, well, my conscience hanging about the neck like my wife of my heart says very wisely to me. So just like a wife with her arms around the neck of her husband, the conscience of Lancelot is also clinging to his heart and asking Lancelot not to run away from the service of Shylock. So the conscience says, being an honest man's son, or rather an honest woman's son, well, my conscience says, Lancelot, budge not. Budge, says the fiend. Budge here means move. The conscience is asking Lancelot not to move. The fiend is asking Lancelot to move. So now that is the confusion within Lancelot. So Lancelot says, conscience, say I, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. Okay. So if you see here, conscience, say I, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. So according to Lancelot, this shows the confusion that is created in the mind of Lancelot. Lancelot is unable to decide that whom to follow. He feels that the conscience is giving him the right advice, asking him not to run away from his master, to remain loyal to his master. He also feels that the fiend is also giving him good advice, asking him to leave the service of Shylock. Now the dilemma that is faced by Lancelot is that whether he should be ruled by his conscience, whether he should listen to his conscience and continue to stay in the service of his master, that is Shylock, who, God bless the mark, is a kind of devil. Okay, so he says that if he follows the instruction of the conscience, that means he would have to continue to stay in the service of Shylock, whom he considers to be a kind of devil himself. So he considers Shylock to be a devil. And if he follows the fiend, if he follows the advice of the devil, then he says that it is the advice of the devil himself. And then finally he comes to a final conclusion. He says, certainly the Jew is the very devil incarnation. Okay, incarnation means he is the since Shylock is a Jew, he is to be considered as an devil in the form of a human. That is what most of the Christians believe. And he feels that the advice of the conscience to remain in the service of Shylock, whom he considers to be a devil himself, then his conscience is bit hard on him. Therefore, he gives in to the advice of the devil. He says the fiend gives the more friendly counsel. So since the devil is asking him to leave the service of Shylock, so that is a more friendly counsel. So therefore finally he comes to a conclusion. He ends his dilemma saying that he will run away from the service of Shylock. He will follow the commandment of the devil. He will put himself at the service of the devil and follow the instruction of the devil and leave the service of Shylock. He will trust his heels and he will run away from the service of Shylock. Okay, so that is how he concludes his dilemma. Now you see, here we come to know that he leaves the service of Shylock because he is a Jew. He considers that if he continues to serve Shylock any further, it would mean that he is serving the devil himself. So he considered Shylock to be cruel, to be hard-hearted, and at the same time there are more reasons for leaving Shylock's service, which is discussed later in the scene. That we will be discussing in the next class or in the Google Meet. So I hope this is clear. Thank you for joining. Stay blessed.